one of the good things about having a track phone versus a conventional cell phone. Okay, and I know technology is great, and people like their iTouches and iPads and all that. But I got to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not careful, listen to me, and I'm not against them. But if you're not careful, that iPad or iTouch may come back to bite you in the derriere one of these days, okay? So what we have to do is recognize and realize that the technology in and of itself is not bad, but the misuse of that technology or the overuse of that technology may just get you going and pulling up into a deserted, nice building, and it may get you a shower you don't want to have, and probably raped a couple of times by some thugs that work for the Gestapo, and then when they're through raping you, you'll go out the other side and you'll be killed, you see. This is the way the game's been played, Operation Death, for generation after generation of thugs like Hitler and Mao and Stalin and this administration that is your government, which is actually run by the Rothschilds and some other people. You'll get your chance to realize and know and understand one of these days, if you don't already, that this has never been about. It has never been about Al-Qaeda. It's been about creating a crisis. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to 911 for a minute. If they'll sit there and kill 3,000 people and laugh about it behind the scenes, if Silverstein will say, oh, there's been so much tragedy and death already, so many people have died, so at 5 o'clock let's pull building 7. It's in his own stinking little it's in his own stinking little mouth that he said pull it. You got to understand that there's no doubt in anybody with a half a brain or a mind that's not in a delusional state that they're not going to quit what they're doing, but they're going to continue down this path of Operation Death until they are stopped by the Messiah. But we got a while to go before that happens. As I read the prophecy, there's going to be a lot of death. There's going to be a lot of destruction. So, back to the question I have to ask you today. Will you sacrifice your sons and daughters to Molech or the TSA in order to fly from one state to the next? That decision has to be made by every individual that has children. Me, myself, and I cannot fly. I've been on a no-fly list since 2009. I can't fly. I don't want to fly anyway. But that being said, if I wasn't on a no-fly list, and I said this before to Cindy, we were talking about emailing something to each other and it wouldn't go through, and I told her about the email and the internet just sitting there spinning. I said I could have probably walked my AWS to Texas and handed you this before I could have emailed it to you. And I got to tell you something else. I will walk my rear end to another state before I'll fly. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't going to happen. And it's not that I'm afraid of some overweight, fat, thug TSA agent. It's just that I'm going to avoid. I'm going to do like Apostle Paul said. I'm going to try to live at peace with all men if all possible in the book of Romans. Therefore, I will avoid the confrontation as long as I can, because I understand and I know the end result of what will take place if I am confronted and they want me to bend over and grab the soap. It ain't going to happen, you see. It just will not take place. I will not allow it, because I, in and of myself, was born free. Although I was born broke and naked and afterbirth all over me, I was still free, you see. And I will die a free man. I will not bow to what they're doing. Now, I will give you the shirt off of my back, okay? But you cannot come and take it from me without major repercussions and visiting Clay County and pushing up daisies. Okay, with that being said, what we have to realize and know and understand again is this is nothing more than to enslave you and put you in a place, listen to me, put you in a place of depression and oppression and make you think that unless you go along with them, then you have no freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to tell you something today. If you do not go along with them, I don't care how you do it, by withdrawing your consent, do it peacefully. Be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Do it peacefully, and you will find out more and more every day you will become stronger and stronger day after day after day. In your spirit, you will become stronger. And your soul, listen to me, your soul is being grafted and being made into what it's supposed to be. See, again I say, you have a body that's made up of flesh and tissue and cells and blood and bones and marrow. Your spirit is what enables your body to move around in your hands, okay? It is your soul that is your character and your personality. Listen to me, please. It is your soul that is your character and your personality. So whatsoever you do determines the type of soul that you have. You understand? See, because that's why, you ready? The lamp of the body is the eye. That's why when I can look into the eyes of somebody and I can judge their character pretty well, because guess what? I'm not calling myself some kind of prophet or anything else, but I can look into the eyes of them and I can take my eyes and look at their actions and I can see what kind of soul that they have. You see? If you look at a TSA agent through a video, you can look not only in their actions from their spirit and their body, but you can see inside their souls because of what they're doing, because of feeling people up from head to toe. You can see that their soul is vexed and cursed. You can look at your politicians across this nation, whether they be local or national, and by their actions and by their fruits, you can tell what type of soul that they have. And listen to me, soul is character and personality. Okay? And it is speech. See, on the one hand, they come on television and they promote the TSA as being safety for you. On the other hand, when you go watch the TSA, it's nothing but a perverted, millions of people are being perverted and turned into, guess what? They're turned into airport whores because they get conditioned to allow it. See, that's how, and I may take a few minutes here. See, a whore does not start out to be a whore. A whore is born after she decides that she wants to have relations over and over and over with different people. Okay? Before that, she's a virgin. She lays down, she spreads her legs. What do you think is happening? What do you think is happening to the people that go through the airport over and over and over and get conditioned to being felt up? They literally become, and they don't even know this, they literally become spiritual whores, okay? Their character and personality is conditioned and accepted to accept being groped all over. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but one of the things I don't like is being touched when I don't want to be touched. You understand me? And in fact, I get a righteous indignation if somebody lays their hands on me and I don't say, okay, do it. You see? And another thing that just boils my blood, worse than somebody trying to touch me, is trying to put their hands on my kids. See? I don't know about y'all, but I'm old school. See, I was brought up in the South. You understand me? And I'm not putting up no rebel flag here. I don't worship flags or nothing like that. But I wish to inform you that being brought up in the South on a farm, you were taught that you shouldn't even touch an item that don't belong to you. You understand? And if you did, guess what? My butterbow, my grandpa, would whip you in the next week. See, my grandpa taught me some respect, but he also taught me that people better learn to respect me as I respect them. See, it's a two-way street. Now, I don't see the respect taking place through your airports as I watch the videos. See, what I see is a little Mickey Mouse badge they got out of a Cracker Jack box and tailor-fitted outfits for all these fat, overweight pieces of garbage to put on. And what I see is them on a power trip thinking that they can touch you, but you better not put your hands on them. See, I don't like one-way streets, because one-way streets generally carry you where you don't want to go. So that being said, it would be very, very, very wise for the parents of people, and I'm not telling them what to do, I'm counseling here, it'd be very wise for the parents to look at their children in the eyes and see what kind of soul and character is being built as they're being groped and touched, not only at TSA checkpoints, but at schools and different places, you see. You understand? So today I never even got to the article because I had a little rant going on there. But you know, see, travelers seem somehow or another, the ones that go through it the first time seem to be shocked by, you know, by TSA officers in black SWAT style uniforms, and you know, they descend upon the Tampa Greyhound bus station and do things, and you know, absolutely we must understand that we're going to have some choices in the building of our lives as we watch Operation Death Watch unfold across this nation. Now, I want to say this to you, and I want to be kind, okay? I want to say this to you and be kind. I absolutely have been in prayer with the Creator by way of the Messiah. And it's been settled in my heart that I will absolutely die rather than be their slave. I'm not a violent person. I do not wish anything bad upon anyone, but I will absolutely die before I will become their slave. And I will absolutely die before they put their hands on my children, or my wife, or me for that matter, when I've done nothing wrong. Enjoy your day. Hope to see you at 7 o'clock to listen to a great message on angels and demons. This is End Time Watchman. Again, my deepest condolences for this piece of crap camera that won't work. You gotta understand, and I'm being real kind of this camera. I'm being not the one that you bought, Cindy, but this software that I just uploaded. So we'll try to get that fixed. And in the meantime, enjoy your day and tell the TSA I said, go to hell. Have a good one.